thinking about scouting and the less chance he's going to have to see these roaches coming across the map here. Gas still being taken by, oh wow, he's just waiting and waiting until he's got a big group of roaches. Damaga has no idea that this is coming. One spine crawler, not going to be enough. He's going for a quick lair. Oh, this is looking kind of rough for Damaga right now,
he's
guys.
Getting four spine crawlers. He just
Yeah.
saw it right there with his Overlord, so he knows this is coming.
Yeah.
He's starting to put down the spine crawlers. Will they be ready in time, though?
I really don't think he's going to have these up in time.
Wow,
we'll
he's got
see.
so many spine crawlers.
Yeah, he needs to delay. Roro sees it, but the roaches are here. It's too late.
And one goes ahead, starts its poking, gets a couple Baneling hits on the roaches. He's got a few more coming out. He's just trying to buy himself some time. Can he get the rest of these spines up? He runs his Baneling across the front, but it's not deterring
Oh, yeah.
the push, and a few Zerglings already making it into the main.
Only 2 spine crawlers up right now, and he could just, literally walk into the main with the roaches. Zergling's in there as well. He's focusing down the Baneling nest. Not a bad idea, reducing Damaga to just Lings. He may not be able to kill him here, but he's doing a lot of damage. No, with the Lings, he's going to have enough to take down the spine crawlers. Oh, Damaga.
Yeah, Damaga has speed now, but it may not be enough. 2 more spines still in the back of the base.
Yeah.
Damaga trying to move his spine crawlers forward, get a better position, and it looks like he's going to get the roaches.
He's going to be able to clean this up, but he lost a lot doing it. He's got the Spire on the way, but, is he really going to be able to get the gas? He hasn't put drones in his gas at his natural yet. Oh, man, Damaga needs to do that immediately if he wants to have any sort of money for Mutalisks when that Spire finishes. It's halfway done now. Damaga a little bit distracted there, rebuilding his Baneling nest. A really nice attack by Roro, actually. Well executed, hid those roaches until the last moment. But Damaga, a little bit of a chance here. Roro has not seen the Spire yet. And Damaga actually, interesting. I've got thoughts in my head, but.
He must know it's coming.
Yeah.
I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that he has an understanding that it will be there soon. He's trying to wall off.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure, honestly, because he's not building spores. He's got his lair finishing up right now. Damaga getting in, just looking around to see what the tech is. He's going to be pretty happy. Damaga actually, though, going for the infestation bit. So just a few mutas. In fact, only 1 right now.
So,
just a few.
Yeah, double Evo chambers.
So what you can do with this is kind of an older style that Damaga's doing here, is when you get out like maybe a total of like 5 or 6 mutas, you can put a little bit of pressure on, but the idea behind it is to allow yourself to take a safer third base. And then from that third, you go into like Roach Infester. So I wonder if that's his plan. It looks like it's just going to be Ling Infester, maybe even into Ultralisks eventually, just with that little Mutalisk addition here.
Meanwhile, Roro hitting those Roach upgrades particularly hard.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Lings are still at a bit of a disadvantage against Roaches unless you get a very, very good surround.
And there's the Hive Tech coming out of Damaga already.
He's going for Ultras. It's Ling Infester Ultra. This is a style that some North American Zergs actually have done quite a bit. Like Machine and Scarlet are actually good Ling Infester Ultra players, but generally you don't see the Spire added into that. I think this was an on-the-fly decision by Damaga, but could be a good one. The issue is that it's very, very difficult to get a good amount of Ultras off on 2 bases, guys. It's going to be challenging.
And Enduring Locusts will be the upgrade for Roro.
Swarmhost and ZVZ, all right.
This is a little bit of a new one. He
is
supply capped right now, so he's got to get some more of these Overlords out, making a whole handful right now.
Yep. Damaga
I'm
taking
curious,
his third now.
I was about to ask about this Ultra style. Needing a third base, needing those extra gases.
Generally you do. He's going to have to try to survive on just Lings and Infestors for a little while. He just wants that Hive Tech up there. It's going to be tough, though. It certainly is going to be tough to produce a useful amount of Ultras on 2 bases unless he just kind of saves everything he has. Roro's going to spot this third. Yep, and these Swarm Hosts are out. Okay, so the Swarm Hosts are coming right now for Roro. This is such an interesting ZVZ. Now, if Damaga has an Overseer, and if he kind of just maneuvers around where the Locusts are going, he can get in and kill the Swarm Host very quickly with those Ultras. But honestly, I've never seen Ultralisks go up against Swarm Hosts before, so this is going to be very different. We'll put it that way. Damaga having a nice zone here, trying to prevent Roro from taking that third, and it's working so far.
And there we go, thinning the numbers, trying to push out a little bit, buying some more room at the front of his base for those creep tumors, for these locusts. Very curious build.
Now, Roro knew that because of the upgrades from Damaga and things like that, because of his sort of propensity to make a lot of Zerglings, his third was going to be a bit challenging to take. So I feel like this may be sort of kind of a long-term way for Roro to get that third base up. But it's going to be a little bit difficult either way. There comes a chitinous plating for those Ultras.
Not to mention the adrenal glands for the Zerglings, which are going to make Damaga's Zerglings much more powerful.
Yeah. Damaga's drone count, I bet if we see it, it's going to be a little bit on the low side. He's still got a better income, though, because of that third base. And he's going to be able to deny this. Yeah, immediately canceled. This game is starting to look really good for Damaga. 3 Ultras on the way. And if he can get past those Locusts, I don't know if there's really a way for Roro to stop this.
Yeah,
this is such a crazy game.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
so
extremely.
far, and Damaga just doing a great job with those very few Mutalisks of denying bases.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. And just waiting there. Does Roro know about these Ultras? He's got to know by now. That one, he's very brave. Oh, Damaga, what are you doing?
Oh, and it is revealed.
Yeah. Yeah, Roro may not have known about that, but now he certainly does. 3 more Ultras on the way. Very surprising to see this off of what was largely 2 bases for Damaga. This is crazy, man. He's gone full Damaga. He certainly has. And he's going to come down and try to crush this third base. Can he do it?
The March of the Ultras commencing for Damaga. Damaga going for his 4th. While he goes on the offensive, however, there are a lot of Locusts right now. He's got to be careful. Look how fast they're taking out those Ultras.
Yeah, Damaga can't afford to do that. These Swarm Hosts will literally tear apart the Ultras, as we just saw. So Damaga, like I mentioned earlier, if he wants to handle this, he needs to go around the Swarm Hosts. He has to circumvent it somehow.
Well, he's making a move right now, trying to come around the other side, but the Swarm Hosts doing a great job of protecting that third, but Damaga's on top of it, actually. Looks like he's got some of his Mutalisks over there. He's going to be harassing the Swarm Hosts at the same time with that Overseer. He's got to be careful not to lose these Mutas.
Yeah, that's right, but I think he's just trying to keep them sort of out of the way. Damaga going through those Locusts with Ultras. Oh, that just hurts me to watch. These Roaches going to help quite a bit.
So 14.
Yeah, that's very, very scary for Damaga right now. And you can see, yeah, he's starting to go around. He knows he needs to do this. And honestly, this is one of the better maps for going around this sort of thing. But the question is, how is he going to eventually deal with these Swarm Hosts? He needs to do something about it, but it's going to be tough, man. I mean, maybe like a big surprise round of Mutalisks would be able to do that sort of thing, but
surprise,
a little bit crazy. Oh, here come the Ultras.
And he's coming into the base. He gets on top of the Roaches, but look, those Swarm Hosts already repositioned, and he's going to have to back off one more time.
Yeah, I don't think that Damaga can really break this right now.
And the thing about Swarm Hosts on this map, too, is like, look at the way the opening of the base works here.
Yeah.
You're not really going, it takes so long for the Ultras to get around.
Wow, that Ultra just exploded, man. And Ultra's generally pretty good against Roaches, but the numbers are just too high for Roro. Damaga losing everything right now.
He's going to get some Queens for his trouble, at least.
Yeah, well, until they burrowed.
The Swarm Hosts have such an easy time defending because the travel time for the Ultras to go all the way around is so long.
And I mean, those Swarm Hosts doing a very good job of compensating for the fact that Roro's third was very light, and he's still not getting a lot of income out of it. 14 Swarm Hosts is going to keep you very, very safe.
Well, he's going on the march right now, spawning those waves of Locusts, then unburrowing just so he constantly has the Locusts with his army to cover his own tail.
Yeah, oh, he's got some Roaches into Damaga's third and no defense there. Damaga sending some Ultras up as fast as he can, but he needs to do something about this.
Roro just sending a wave of Locusts in instead. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, so many Roaches. It's got to be like 30 Roaches out there. But look at this. He's killed Roro's third, but he still needs a way to handle these Swarm Hosts, but he may have it in the greater Spire that he's making right now.
Well, you can see at the bottom of the map, there's a lot of action still going on, and the Transfuses will keep the third base alive.
These are cracklings, but they're not strong enough, and Damaga trying to defend against all these Roaches with the Ultras. Nice bungle!
And the Fungal Growth will lock him up for the Ultras to actually take down the Roaches dying in
He's got to back off. He's got to back off
Finally,
now.
the Swarmos are up, and now he sees the Locust, but
Demaga.
he's still going in. He's still going in.
Oh, Roro's got all these Ultras now, or does he? Yeah, he totally does. The Swarmos doing a ton of damage. Demaga losing all the Ultras, remaking a lot behind it. Demaga's economy certainly keeping him in this game.
And
now,
those Infestors just gonna get picked off right now.
Yeah. No burrow for Demaga, unfortunately. And here we go. He's trying to handle this, but those Swarmos so scary. He's trying to defend his fourth.
So Ultras coming in, clearing out the Locust, but taking a ton of damage in the process. More Ultras on the way from Demaga.
He's going under the Swarmos. He's got that Observer, the Overseer, ahead of it.
He's cutting down the numbers, but the Roaches continue to pour in. As the assault continues, now the fourth base under fire by Roro. He's losing so many Ultralisks.
He evacuated the drones in time, and I mean, look at Demaga's supply right now. And Roro has like hardly any drones. It shows you how enormous Roro's army is at the moment. Demaga needs these.
Oh, he finally got that.
He did.
Hatchery.
Demaga needs these Swarmos to win him the game, though, because that's the only thing that's going to stop him. I don't know if he can get the Swarmos out in time to stop this, though.
The Broodlords.
Broodlords, yeah.
So the Broodlords, the Corruptors, only 4, however, and 4 Broodlords may not even be enough to stop him from totally destroying the economy right now of Demaga. Roro on the assault. He doesn't quite, oh, he does. Goodbye, sweet Ultralisk.
Demaga just doesn't, or Roro just doesn't have a lot of resources right now, but all these roaches for Roro, they don't care about that.
They certainly don't, but they do care about demolishing Demaga's third. Meanwhile, the Locust putting a lot of pressure on the Natural, and Demaga, I have to say, I think the wheels are coming off right now.
Well, 4 Broodlords just popped out. So he can hold his main now at least, but
well, he's not
Roro's
mining
take
anything right now.
The question is, will Roro ever have enough money for another hatchery? That's the real question. Demaga may still have this.
So the Broodlords sweeping in right now, picking off those very important swarm hosts.
Roro's starting to mine long distance. Demaga needs to get there now. He cannot wait. He needs to go and stop this mining before some anti-air comes out.
So Roro's starting to get that Spire, but there's still a lot of Corruptors on the map. He's going to have to work up to the number of units he needs in order to deal with these Broodlords.
Demaga just getting so delayed right now. I mean, he needs to stop this mining.
Well, he's got a few Queens. It depends on how many Queens Roro has left right now to deal with this as well.
The Corruptors that are going to come out once that Spire finishes are going to be the really scary thing for Demaga to have to deal with.
Well, that's if Roro has any money.
Yeah, he's mining right now. That's what Demaga needs to stop.
So here come the Broodlords. He's trying to keep them safe. Oh, the Ultras get found out while they find the...
Well, Demaga knows about the long distance mining, and I mean, he's just going to move the Broodlords in on this. Roro has to kind of go all in to a certain extent. And Demaga right now may still have just enough Corruptors to handle this, but oh man, this army is just terrifying from Roro.
Della, this ZVZ is wild.
It's one of the craziest games I've ever seen, man. Roro's got a hidden base. Demaga doesn't know about it. And Demaga, he doesn't have enough money to build a hatchery anywhere else. He's just got just a couple extractors around the map.
He's pulling out those Swarmos, though, just trying to figure out what he can do, and what he can do is take out Demaga's main and kill as many buildings as he can before those Broodlords show up.
Yeah, it's a full-on base trade, and I don't think Demaga can win it. There goes the Hive.
So Roro looking like he's in the position of control right now. Broodlords trying to clean it up.
120 supply lead right now for Roro, so yeah, he's definitely in a bit of control. Demaga, what a strange game. The Ultra Cavern looks so uncomfortable when you shoot it, by the way. It's like, Demaga knows. He knows that's it. It was a valiant effort, and he really had Roro on the ropes there for a moment, but...
Yeah, those Broodlords getting some of those roaches, but it's just not going to be enough. And Roro now mining quite comfortably out of his hidden base.
Demaga might...
Up at 10 o'clock.
Actually just get eliminated here. Loses that extractor. There's the GG, and Roro takes the 2-0. Oh, man. It was, what a wacky game. I mean, that was one of those games where you really can't put all that much criticism onto the losing player because it's just a situation that you're never in, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could say maybe if the Broodlords were a little bit faster, that'd be fine, but he was operating on such a low economy to begin with. And Ultras versus Swarmos, like, you never see that. You hardly ever see people get massive Swarmos on 2 bases. You hardly ever see Ultras on largely 2 bases.
Yeah.
What a weird game. But in the end, Roro just happening to kind of like have that composition that worked well against Damaga. And Damaga made a valiant effort to try to handle it, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, truly a strange game, but definitely an interesting one. And again, we have another ZVZ. None of our ZVZs have really looked like any of the other ones so far today.
It really
is.
is.
Really wide variety of tactics used so
It's really the players, man. I mean, the players in this group, the Zergs in this group, are not exactly what you would call conventional Zergs. So that's not too surprising to see, really, I got to say.
Well, we're going to be moving into the winners match next, where we will be seeing a
Moving
rematch of Roro versus Innovation, which was a quarterfinal match in WCS Korea.
It could be the finals of any tournament, too. This is going to be a great best-of-3, guys. Roro versus Innovation.
And then after that, we'll move into the losers match. Damaga, who's still in the tournament, of course, versus Revival to see who gets eliminated. But we're going to take a little bit of a break first. resume our play here in Group D at the WCS World Championship here in Yongsan in Seoul, South Korea. We're bringing you a rematch from the WCS Korean Games, Roro versus Innovation.
Guys, tell your friends to tune in. We are about to see what could be one of the best TVZs it's even possible to see in the world right now. It's going to be awesome. Thanks for watching. I'm Doa. With me is Monte Cristo, and I can't wait for this match to start, man. I mean, this could be the finals in any other tournament, and it's a grudge match. Roro wants some revenge against Innovation.
Absolutely. I believe Innovation beat him 3-0 in the quarterfinals
It was
as well.
not
so
pretty,
it was not pretty. Roro attempting to go into those long macro-style games and just getting picked apart by Innovation's drops. Now, will he start playing more like Symbol? Will he start playing a little differently with these timings against Innovation in order to try and be successful?
You know, I feel like we've seen what it takes to beat these extremely good macro Terrans. It takes that early punishment. You need to make them feel bad for being so greedy. And the Zergs that can do that really well will triumph. The ones that can't will have a very hard time in the late game. It's not unwinnable, but it's very tough. So will we see that from Roro? I'm not so sure. I mean, like you mentioned, he is the type of Zerg that really does like to try to play for the late game. He's got a lot of confidence in his abilities in the late game, in his matchups, and we'll see what he can do against Innovation. I mean, Innovation, again, we heard going into it that he still wasn't in the best state of mind. I don't think I believe that now. The guy is looking like he's playing just as good as ever. Roro's got his work cut out for him.
Yeah, he did crush Revival pretty convincingly. And the question is, has Roro adapted his play? He knew he was going to be in this group with Innovation. I think that he probably believed that this winner's match between him and Innovation would be a likely outcome.
I would say so, yeah.
Of the situation. That is, I think, what a reasonable StarCraft player or fan would think. And now he's here. Now, has he learned something from the very narrow series that Innovation won against Symbol in the semifinals? And